Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma. We got bananas in chat from Fortunate Narrator, May School, Lucaro, Spooky Doki, Forgil, and Becca, and Wavy Paradox as well. Had to mute for a second there and cough. Oh, goodness me, 82 months. Oh my god, soon it's going to be 100. May School, thank you so much, my dude. Say soon, it's like a year and a half, but wow, incredible. Incredible. Thank you so much, my dude. I was going to say something, yes. Let me know if everything's good with the stream quality and audio and stuff. You can hear the music, you can hear me, because I had to do some tweaking of settings and whatnot today, trying to fix the problem with the audio crackling that's going on. Not gotten to the bottom of that yet. Hopefully we'll be able to soon. Yeah, so what about a recap of what's gone on in between streams? Well, it's just been a lengthy AFK session. I left one of these off. These time things that we work so hard to get. But yeah, now we create tons of this stuff. And it goes into these ender chests and it goes and gets stored in our main storage system. Almost looks like it maybe can't keep up at times. Very curious. I also got to leave the wither farm on, the gas farm on, the mob farm. Yeah, look at that. I mean, crazy amounts of everything we need, basically. Is the wither skeleton farm? Ah, yeah. So, I should probably name that one Skeleton. Maybe this is something we'll get around to today, building an interface for this. Would be nice to, oh, it'd be nice to do anything, really. I don't have a plan, I've just been busy all day, and now I'm here to stream. I know that we got to sort out where we're going to store the items from this bit over here. I kind of want to store them nearby, right? So, I think the vague plan that I drew up in my mind today was that we figure out what we're going to do for this mod, how we're going to go about doing it, and then maybe where to store stuff. So, you know, you need a ton of those to make them. Kind of maybe need an idea of how many of them I'm going to need overall. But welcome all the peeps to the stream that are tuning in. We're just getting started here, trying to figure out where to go with all of this. Let's see what the quest book wants us to do. Because that'll teach us the end goal of all of this. And we got Winnie T. Ford in chat as well. Welcome, Winnie. So it's about basically getting the ingots, creating the infinity armor and the tools, which I may not even really end up needing, but oh, yeah, we've got some things to claim over here. Thank you very much. I could craft all of these just for the sake of it, couldn't I? Just for the sake of it. Tick another one off the book. Same for that over there. I think I might just do that stuff off camera at some point. And at some point in the future we're going to start this. I don't know if what we're currently doing gets used in these other mods, which is another point. How do we get the Tome of Knowledge then? Tome of Knowledge. Oh, okay, yeah, no. Not anytime soon. So open these up. We'll probably get some things we don't need, yeah. Not of much use to us. So, going back to the... Oh yeah, clicking in the wrong spot. Going back to the other mod, we'll have a look. You need a lot of singularities. 11 of each per infinity ingot, says Blackjack. Wow, 11 of each. For each infinity ingot. Yes, that's required to make this stuff, I thought. Oh yeah, extreme craft. Oh wow, okay. So we probably handled a lot of the neutronium stuff. The crystal matrix block is cool, and then it's... that. So it's really about making the infinity ingots. And these things too. How do you make the infinity ingots then? Right, from those. So we're going in the right direction just by figuring out what we need to do to make these. Let's actually put that over there on the side. Yeah, and then the rest of that is pretty straightforward. It also wants the world eater and possibly the other tools, but again, it's all made out of the same stuff. So to get to the end of this mod, it's all about the infinity catalysts. It also wants dark steel, steel, and enderium. Just, you know, tacking in a few extra difficult things here. Those are all good. And then you start... Oh. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, the rabbit hole. Yeah, we'll have to chip away at all these projects like a step at a time, I imagine. That won't be so bad. What else is there? This looks sort of different, but actually it's probably, yeah. There's a whole other thing we might want to get on top of. Now I can do it this way, but it's red sand. So let's add that over there. It's sand and this stuff. So I could export silver and gold, but then also destabilized redstone. There's a little contraption here we could start working on. But I've got this weird feeling that for the amount of this stuff that we need, which is a crazy amount, I mean, I don't know if it means that many blocks or if this has a value. I can't help but feel there's another way to get all of these things, is my guess. We got PRDX Penguin here for 3 months. And Galatron here subscribing as well. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it as always. So yeah, otherwise it's a pretty long way in. Like if I type in iridium, for example, we have 403,000 ingots. Oh, no, and then this thing... Where's the iridium one? Wait, did I like pick the one thing that... Okay, so silver has it, for example. 1.4 million. Okay, tin, nether quartz. They do have slightly different numbers. And then, I mean, that's well under 1 million if it's ingot. If it's blocks, I might be in trouble here. It's only 3 million of each resource for the infinity pickaxe, says Blackjack. That's kind of insane, though. If I'm not mistaken, right? Like, if we're to craft up all of this stuff as the book wants, like, what's the dealio? Am I AFKing in the world for like a week or something to get all the resources from our void miner? I don't know. Immy160, thank you for 21 months. Appreciate it. Best wishes for the new year. Thank you, and to you too. Dupe them, says Zackle. How would one dupe them? Drury Gugong says you can use EMC in this pack, right? Ah, is this it? I don't see these things having an EMC value. That one does. Wait, am I looking in the wrong place? Nope. That one doesn't have an EMC value. But the Infinity Catalyst does, interestingly enough. Islas says, I might be able to set it up to automate Infinity Ingots, but then use Project E to make ingots of emerald blocks. The Project E stuff I don't think works with the Infinity Ingot. Let's have a look. We got Archer2530 here, resubscribing for 3 months. And Galatron also throwing some cheers and biddies into the chat. Thank you for the subscription and thank you for the biddies as well. Greatly appreciate it. Set up multiple void miners. It took me 5 void miners running each with a mechanism 5 times setup to make it in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah, having done all that mechanism setup, I do not want to really scale it up. That's just not interesting. Galatron says, kind of expected you to butcher my name, but nah. It's a feature. Unless by nah you mean I got it wrong. Right. Sniper, 1974, thank you for 69 months support. Greatly appreciated. Saying, hi X, how are you today? Feeling good. Feeling energized. Feeling alright. Looking for some more suggestions in chat. So, if we went the EMC route to create that, we would actually bypass doing all of this. Now, that would mean everything that we've done here would be a bit pointless. I've got to say, the amount of resources it's asking for, to me, is just implying an excessive amount of grind and AFK time. I like the idea of, you know, creating this Fluxed electrum block, maybe just for the sake of building with it. Give ourselves a little fun challenge to do. As for this other stuff, The neutronium block could be a building block, but I am interested in maybe going the EMC route on this one. Is there going to be a world download for this world when the series ends, says here. Yeah, most likely, but you need to add an extra mod to it, so I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. Make a catalyst and use EMC to get the rest. The best way to get EMC is RF tools, dimension full of emerald blocks. Right, okay, so you need to find the conversion value equivalent. So we still need to make one of these, which means we need the machine here, the compressor. Yeah, that's a different one to the one that we've made. I had this really cool idea that we could visualize the creation of these using some vertical conveyor belts that just pump in the materials, but you know, we're going to make one of each. We only really need one of these on display. Oh yeah, and it's going to be made over there somewhere. Neutronium block, right? And then once we made this, it's a part of making the infinity. So I think what we'll go ahead and do is like perhaps wrap this little structure that we've built here up. I kind of need to redo the lighting. These also emit light, which is kind of cool. I think what I'll do is just put these things like directly above and then figure out the spacing beyond that. And this is it. We're getting into it now. We've got a little bit of a plan underway. Well, which you'll see. It's for me to finish this area with what we need to do the project, I guess. I think I might just leave it lit like that, actually. It's kind of a bit mysterious on the entrance. Oh yeah, and I wanted to get rid of all of those conduits, and I gotta say, it's a lot of work, and it's not like they're terribly ugly. I think what I might do is just put the ender chests at the other end, so they're less obvious. Sounds kind of fair. Right, so lead sheet metal. The Black Ranger PL, thank you for 67 months. Yeah, I'm worse by 2 months. Evil X, anyway. I'm only here to say hi, not the biggest fan of modded. Can't wait for Season 9, though. Well, thanks for swinging by, dude. Yeah, modded Minecraft is a different cup of tea. It's a different kettle of fish, as they say. We've been streaming for 12 minutes, by the way. I've got a hot cup of tea here. Cannot let it go to waste. That would be criminal. Absolutely criminal. Oh yeah, lead was the other thing. Lead sheet metal. I think we need a couple of these things to finish the room. So, how about a wands? Not that one. That one's naff. And we got Kyo Samai here, subscribing with the Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We also got Becca gifting a sub to Bruno Dan Ui. I'm never quite sure how to say the last word. Thanks for tuning in, Bruno, and thanks Becca for gifting the sub. Appreciate it as always. I think I'm gonna have it line up with the corner. So you have like, ooh, blah, 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 blah. 2 blocks like this. And then that's the gap that we'll have. So I think the next wall is just going to be here. And I'm like, well, I cannot remember I have night vision. Yeah, so we don't want to waste this stuff. Not that it's terribly expensive in any way, but I'll take some of it back and use it again. We got Dorva Lorama here for 11 months. Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy New Year is Bon Année in French. Cool. I've been educated. Thank you ever so much. Oh, we got Leptis Magma here with the Prime. Thank you, Leptis. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the stream. Thanks for using the Prime subscription. Let's now finish this little bit up and drink some tea, right? Oh, this doesn't have a floor, it's just stone, eh? It's just how it is, I guess. There we go. That'll be the end of the room. That being said, I immediately realised that the distance that I was counting gonna have to push it back by one, was to the blocks that were gonna sit out front of it. So if I were to place a block there, it would immediately look weird. Dang it! Is that a derp? I don't think that's a derp. That's just part of building, right? That's just part. X, how's your own mod pack going? It's not going anywhere. I haven't done anything. I've done 0. I've just been busy. Busy all day. Busy all of yesterday. Probably going to be busy all of tomorrow. I mean, it's something I'll get round to, just I have other priorities, right? It's January now. New Year's resolution. I didn't meditate today. I give myself this day off because I went and saw friends last night and didn't get back till 2 in the morning. And it's completely like thrown me off my my start, I guess. Did I replace that correctly? I did. So, we're going to need a bunch of things here. FW Games, thank you ever so much for the Prime. 31 months, incredible. Appreciate it, my dude. Thanks for sticking around. D. Las Islas says, I don't know if it's in the pack or whatever it's called, but I think they found a way to automate the extreme crafting. It was like a block to remember a recipe, and he just fed items into it. He could automate the ender pearl and the stews, I think. Oh, interesting. Anyone else got an idea what that might be? Bruno Dan says, I used to meditate back when I was studying singing. Do you have a routine for it? Yeah, my routine is like to try and do it sort of... I get up, move about a bit, and then the idea is to sit down and meditate, right? But I kind of got up, moved about a bit, and was like, it's late, I didn't get much sleep, I need to crack on and get things done today, so I gave myself this one off. X, do you think that a netherite pick should be buffed to mine deep slate like diamond, pickaxe, mine stone? Yeah, I would vote in favour of that. I would definitely vote in favour of that. So we need to make this block over here next. And the idea of being able to remember the recipes with a block is pretty cool. Blackjack says it's in a separate mod called Everita add-ons, which adds an auto crafting table. Oh. Now, is that actually here? Like, where does the add-ons mod appear? Because, oh wait, is the pack not in? Is the mod not in this pack? Like, I'm typing in add-on, right? I don't think it's in the pack. Be Jossie Boy, thank you for 7 months. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support. So we'll leave this thing here. And we'll do some crafting and stuff over here. Let's go back to that mod again. I'm clicking in the wrong places. Why is that coming up? I found if I moved the mouse off the screen it would stop coming off, but it's done it twice today. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 different types. So that means well, I need 15 of the compressing things. Yeah, there's another problem to solve here. This mod is like a bit much to get your head around because that's just a crazy amount of stuff, right? When I play these kind of mod packs, I usually set out to make some sort of bizarre contraption or completely some crazy challenge. Do you have anything like that for this? Says A6 Twitch. I don't, but I really like the sound of that. I really like that way of thinking. I'm hoping we'll do a couple of novel projects as we like wrap the pack up. Do a couple of things just for fun, you know. Right, so yeah, as you'll see here, we have a crazy amount of that stuff, probably... Oh, goodness me, it's very close to being full. I'm also seeing a ton of Wither Skeleton Skulls and a ton of Supremium Essence. I thought those things were being stored somewhere, and diamonds are still in here. And diamonds should be getting exported somewhere else. Unless I moved that, that was like, I thought it was temporary. So I get diamonds from something else. I've just made a mistake there. A bunch of concrete, tons of charcoal. So we kind of need to work on this because it's so full. So all of those neutrons, they need to go into an ender chest to begin with, I guess. And we need to expand on this system, which, by the way, may potentially like run out of channels. I pulled another channel out over here, haven't I? What's this one got? That's where our diamonds go. So if we get a capacity card, we can solve the diamond issue over here. We're going to need a bunch of this AE2 stuff today to fix some problems. We need a bunch of exporters. Liger, thank you for gifting a sub to ACXI Twitch. Appreciate you doing that, Liger. Thank you as always for everything. And yeah, AC, be sure to say thanks in chat. Blackjack says neutrons should go into a compacting drawer. Better to make them nuggets first. You also have essence, which should be moved. Yes. Good point about the pile. They get turned into nuggets. I wasn't thinking of them quite like that. Anyway, we need an ender chest or two. A couple of these to move things around, which means I need a couple of diamonds. Also need some for moving them on the exporter, so get more of those. Ooh, oh yeah. Gotta make some more, I guess. So, capacity card, and we tell it to shimmy on out with the diamonds. Maybe use that, and they'll get stored in the proper place. Cool. Then, want to give ourselves a bit more space here for more exporters. And then we need some powder of sorts. So I think I'm going to go with like triple grey. I don't think I've done that before. Oh, that was really laggy when I put that one on. Not the second time. Right, so the export bus goes here. Then we've got to tell it what to export. Have a wild guess. I also got to check up on what the situation with the loot bags is like, because we seem to have accumulated a crazy amount of those. Oh yeah, gonna need a bunch of those. Apparently I crafted 1,500 odd of them. That was probably for our molecular assembly stuff. So yeah, now that stuff resides over here. That's terrific. Right, let me go grab my notepad so we can keep track of that. And we got Pat Jur here resubscribing for 3 months. Thank you so much, my dude. I've probably butchered your name. It's a feature. Hope you enjoy it. And thanks for the support. So, triple grey all day is neutron dust. And we get to take that somewhere else in the base. Cool. And then we've got other problems to solve here, but we'll do that one first. See reminders in chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Name butchering is a feature, not a bug, says Rob. Fair enough. We'll call it that then. I don't understand a thing about this mod pack, but I really enjoy the streams. They're entertaining and it's very nice. Everyone has a good chat. Thank you. Keep up the good work, Xisuma. Thank you, Lennox. That's nice to hear. Oh yeah, this thing doesn't tell you how many loot bags there actually are. 3,700. Also, a lot of common loot bags. They must be mistakenly stored somewhere. Surely not in here. Oh, it looks like they're stored in there. They should be getting exported, unless I made a mistake. Best thing to do is... So, according to that, common loot bags should be getting exported. So there's one, right? Like, we shouldn't see that again. That shouldn't cause an issue, having round robin on here. Now I can't see any. Like, the one that I took out might have literally... Oh, there's a point. So if the one that I just took out is one that I've already opened, it could be that I actually attached MBT data. So that might then tell the rest of them that they can go, and immediately they start ticking down. Wow. Interesting. So, because I took one of the first ones, it was one that I'd actually opened, if that makes any sense at all. Another thing to solve is the Supremium Essence. Now, the problem there is that we get Supremium Essence, and I don't know where to put it in this contraption, right? A lot of it will go into Insanium Essence. I guess we could treat it as if it just comes straight into the system and becomes Insanium Essence. So that's an output. This is an... Actually, no, they're both inputs. So I could just pump the Supremium Essence straight into there, which I think is what I'll do. Do I have a triple red ender chest? I do. That's Mob Farm in. So maybe we'll go like green, green, red for... green for the... Mystic Craft, whatever it was called stuff. Hey Xisuma, what are your thoughts about online classes, says Como Docev. I haven't taken online classes. If they work for your style of learning, I'm sure they're a good thing. I don't get to do a lot of learning. Martin says, how come you have so many resources here but still haven't completed this pack yet? Well, I'm not trying to like rush my way to the end. I'm trying to enjoy the experience, really. Okay, so let's grab those and red powder. And as we've sort of learned today, I don't have enough to do the stuff to finish the pack. If you were here earlier on, you would have caught that, ironically. we did some calculating, and it turns out we're a long ways away from getting to where we want to go. So export bus. What are we exporting again? The red stuff, right? Supremium Essence. Oh, I've given it red, red, red. And I told myself not to do that. We'll go green, green, red, like that. Right, I'll make a note. Green, green, red is... this stuff is called Supremium Essence. Cool. Yeah, that just helps me later on when I'm like examining whatever it is I've been working on. I can just refer and see what it's for. So now we're going to go bring that over to the other spot. And this thing will be less full then. Bell Stevens says, X, you might also be able to fix that issue of Ender IO filters and priorities on the conduit. I do not know to what issue you are referring. I do not also recall having the issue, so yeah, not sure what to say on that front. I think speed is something we'd like to see here. There they are. Okay, what one's that? That's the one that we want. Ah! So basically we're going to go disable this, disable that, extract on, and over here we're going to insert. And that just means there's a continuous flow of that stuff coming in, and then a continuous flow of that. Now, because we've done this, what I'm going to do is grab an upgrade of the highest order. And let's go to this. Put that on. So we're going to go from 32 to 64, where we've got 512 of that. So everything else coming in is now going to help upgrade this. And then that one has already got a crazy amount. So I'm pretty happy with that. And that stuff does fast enough to keep up. Dang, it's going to be busy. But hey, that's one thing done. One thing done. X, do you have a tip for under 100 subscriber YouTube creators? I am a YouTuber, but I have under 100 subscribers to my channel, says Tobroni. My advice is to make sure you're in YouTube for the right reasons, that you enjoy the content that you create, you have fun doing it, and that you're not pursuing numbers. If your goal is to grow your channel, you may find that what makes it grow is not enjoyable to you. You should first of all seek out doing what you enjoy, and not thinking and worrying about success and stuff like that. You know, there's other things I can say on what to do after, but that's like the key thing. I'm just remembering, we were gonna like create like a frame that holds this thing up, hanging down from the ceiling. I kind of like the idea of maybe it just poking off of this thing too. But one thing at a time. I really feel like we need to set up our neutronium storage thing. I also not entirely sure what we're going to do with the layout of this, as I had this idea. I had this really strong idea, and it involved these things, which I think you can place vertically. Wow, what's that? Conveyor belt ramp. Yeah, look, that. I can literally make some of these. So I thought it might be cool if, like... Do they go a different direction? It's up only? Because I kind of pictured the items, like, coming out of some sort of whatever and going down into the block so you could visually see all the items moving in all the time. A number is just a number. The only thing that matters is that you enjoy what you're doing and making good memories, says Dr. Drap. Exactly, yeah. Tori Stray, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. The item translocator allows you to see them going in, says Blackjack. Yeah, it's not visually as appealing and it's a bit fast. Like, I kind of want something that's a bit more deliberate and slow. And I really need to just make a couple of these blocks and look at them as well. Which means we want the neutronium ingot. So I kind of want to... I think what might make a bit more sense here is maybe like giving ourselves the flexibility to be able to expand this space a little bit and not keep it so like rigid. Because I was thinking of just having rows of stuff again. Maybe we even create a little room inside of there, not entirely sure. But we want to be able to access this, we want to be able to access a terminal, and a whole bunch of other things like being able to store all of this neutronium. It'd probably be easier if I did it up here. Yes, this would be the spot to store the stuff actually, ironically. Okay, so that would need to be replaced with like a conduit or facade or something. Let's get a couple of compacting drawers. Actually, do you know what? I could do this. I could hide this and just do it with a screen. I don't know why I feel the need to do it this way. So those are compacting drawers. Then we need the controller. Yeah, we'll have that. So if I have 1 and 2 doing the job there, and I hide... Oh, again, it's going to be tricky to hide. I'm going for a very symmetric thing again, aren't I? Maybe I don't put this on display. Or maybe I deliberately put it on display like a bit off step and put it over to one side. That'll probably bug me. I'll probably keep looking at that and being like, why did you do that? Now, that wouldn't work out either. The arrangement of blocks wouldn't allow me to access it the way I need to. Tin Man X 68, thank you for 2 months of support, my dude. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. I think the thermal foundation item pipes are pretty visual, so they are actually. They are, yeah. They might be a good way to go. Yeah, this area here would be kind of ripe for like a bunch of panels showing you all the different items in the system. I like the idea of having a neutronium panel here, but there's 4 different things we could display. And then maybe with that... make it pop out the front, says just Timmy Toe. Actually, what I could do is recess it, as opposed to pop it out the front. So, have that there, and then the screens on either side. Then the drawer controller can go here. Yeah, okay, so we need another storage bus. Let's go whack that over here. Then we're going to need a bunch of those display things, which I forget what they're called. Smartin1018, thank you for 68 months of support. I missed the Let's Talk Hermitcraft stream, but I had to say that I'm very happy you guys ended for part 2 of 1.18. The early game experience is so different. Would not be as entertaining to see you guys skip the late game. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Like, the timing's good, right? For the world has changed and the beginning of the game will be different. So, it should be a fun one. Whenever we get to it. But yeah, thank you again. So we're going to have, like, these things here. As the screens. And then we need, like, a bit of a... God, it's raining. Bit of a hookup. So this is where I think this thing has to be extended. The magenta. And I did mention that I needed to do that. So we'll take some stuff offline. Bring this cable over. I think I'll let that go where it's gone. And build this thing up going in that direction. It's not going to go, yeah, it's not going to go over the hole. Oh dear. I've miscalculated. Right, so we need to go to the side a little bit. Why does the pickaxe itself have no animation when breaking, says Lennox? It's because we got a haste upgrade that for some reason decided to do that too. Oh, is the game audio sounding okay or a bit messed up? Gonna forget about that. Oh yeah, this thing, like, before it gets hooked up needs to be locked. Otherwise, something might end up in here. Something has already ended up in here. Dang it, I did not want to do that. Ah, the pros and cons, the pros and cons. Oh. Let's get those screens back. And let's just break this off. How many ended up in here so quickly? Okay, and the rest of you. So remember what this stuff is for. It's for those. And I've got to be careful how I do this. So you do that. And then you grab, let's see. Conduit. Conduit's the one. Which I probably already got in here. Yes, yes, we got that. Maybe a conduit filter? Oh, do you know what? I did it before with, like, the thing in between the block from the early days of playing all this. We won't do it that way, though. Not to get... Oh! I think I remember that being an old bug of this mod. Oh dear. Anyway, this will give us the means to grab one of those and put it into that spot there. And there you go. Now we've got all the different levels. Yeah, that's kind of annoying that it does that. So we're going to lock the... Yeah, the top one's locked. So I guess I'll just take out the nuggets. And that's where we need the filter. And some speed upgrades. And then up here we tell it to insert. So every time that stuff comes into the system, it'll go all the way to the top. The place where we tell it that it's coming in is right here. We've got 1.1 million of this stuff. Right. Storage bus is not an export bus. My mistake. So I guess I need an export bus as well. And then that means I need the cables. And, well, this thing needs connecting. I think what I'm going to do is put that there. And have this thing go over the top, because it'll probably extend out in that direction at some point. For whatever we do over there. Right, so now that's all connected. This thing... I just need to make note of it. Like, it doesn't really need a number change. So that is going to be neutrons, and it's locked, and its priority is 0. Could end up using this for other things too, possibly. Right, then the exporter is the one that sends these out, and we give it the upgrades, and we throw that on the floor. So now what we should see is that the amount of blocks starts ticking up. Yep, there you go, 2 ingots, 4 ingots. So that's slowly going to tick away. Now we're going to grab these cables, bring them down, and put some screens and facades on them. There's the screens. And I picked those out. I don't know why. I had a feeling they might kind of look mildly interesting. Might be a good idea to add a little light here somewhere as well. Actually, I know exactly what I want for that. So the Mod Immersive Engineering has this little arm thing for lights. Ooh, and the lantern isn't as bright as others. Yeah, this thing right here. I was going to have this sort of there facing up. Put the lantern on top of it. Okay, press 5. This sort of is actually in the way a bit. I think it probably needs to be the other way around. I think it needs to be above. Puts quite a bit of light on that wall. I'm not sure if I like that or not. It might be a bit on the bright side. And we're missing something here. So I need to redo the screens and the facades. What we need is a coloured type of cable, probably grey. Or that type of grey. There we go. Which one is it? It's this one here. This will change the colour of the screens, so that's why we're using this now. And then the last bit, if we carefully put away some things. Just remember, shift clicking up sends it all the way. Speaking of carefully putting away things, those nuggets just went into the wrong place. That's a lot of nuggets that I'm seeing there, whereas if... Oh, I guess it's because the total amount here converts down to nuggets. I understand what I'm looking at now. There you go. Now, this stuff will actually continuously tick down and eventually reach like a 0. You won't like see the relationship of blocks to those because it gets moved out of that drawer. Yeah, just a bit on the bright side, right? Unless we were to add some stuff above, I feel like maybe doing something like we did at the back there, down here at the front, could illuminate it just enough. See, look, I care. I care about the smallest of details with the light level. Frame it in, says Just Timmy Toe. I do not know what that expression means. This is going to make it put those in the wrong spot immediately. It's going to make it too bright. Let's go for like there-ish. I think that might just give it what it needs. Ooh. Got any of that? We have got some of that. So spin around, bam, right there. Nope, not right there. I think I'm going to move this one down by 1. God, that guitar's wonderful. And let's go for the arm. As this thing here should be held up by something, right? Cool. That's a very nice little way of displaying all of that. As you come down into this room, which it was built for. So the next thing, I think it's time to... Oh! Surprise T says, wow, that's a new plug toast. Which one did you just see? Let me know. So... That video file, so the way that's done is that there's a video file that runs continuously. And when I rendered it... What was this for again? Just realised something. Because this has an export bus, I do not need the ender chest. There is absolutely zero reason for me to use it. Bit odd. That's a bit odd that I didn't suss that one out sooner. Let's just turn that off, right? And maybe we'll use this for something else another day, is kind of my thinking here. Just put that all back in. Yes, anyway, as I was saying, so the image size is different from the minimum size I can render a video at, and when I first rendered it I didn't notice that it changes the values as you enter them. It's really weird because it changes one of the values just by 1 and the other one by like 20 or something. Anyway, rendered it, got it all working. I kind of noticed that something was quirky about it. Then when I tried to update it with more things, Surprise T says the thing that pops up in the right corner that plugs X's second channel. Yeah, so the second channel was a new one that I added. What it did is it adjusted those numbers and I never noticed. And then when I went to update it and re-render it, I noticed it changed the numbers. And then I went mad going down a rabbit hole trying to figure out why it was now doing that. Changing a bunch of settings, looking on stuff online, trying different file formats. And like today I thought to myself, what if I never noticed it changed the first time? So I went and looked and I didn't notice. And so it was like, oh well, figured it out now, and rendered a new one which now has the second channel on it. So that was all ready to go last stream. I just yeah, hadn't sussed it out. So I feel like I want to do a little bit of chisel and bitsing now, and I know what blocks I want to use, fortunately. So we need that, and we need a bag, of which we have plenty. The block that I want to use is not there because it doesn't have chisel in the name. This one, block of steel, really like this texture. That's the one that I want to use. Just hoping it kind of translates. Here's the thing. If you think about where I can build, it's like in these spaces. Although I'm probably going to use this. Use the corners. So if I go in there and go for like, just start off with this, you might see where we're going a little bit. Right, and then we go for connected material. Connected plane, that's the one. Zora Spinamana, thank you for gifting a sub to Admirari. Appreciate you doing that, and Admirari, be sure to say thanks in chat. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. You might want to repair the chisel. The chisel repairs itself, so we'll let it do that. And then knock all of this in. And do the same here. So yeah, then you kind of need like an extra trim of this stuff. Now if this is also on connected pane, do that, we do that, we do that. Just not sure I really like the bottom texture very much being displayed like that. And one of the things I really wanted to avoid in this pack was doing really fiddly stuff with chisel and bits. But here we are doing really fiddly stuff with chisel and bits. We will figure it out. Ideal Lickle. Oh god, this name. Ideal Lick Avahala. Thank you for 4 months of putting up with me absolutely destroying the name. Okay, the name was all together. I came along, then it's destroyed. It's gone. It's finito. I apologise. Thank you for your support though. Greatly appreciated. Idyllic Valhalla, says Liger Gaming. Yeah, it could be that, couldn't it? It could. Or it could be Idyllic Valhalla, alright? Come on. Don't rule that one out. Might be nice to add a little edge here, just, I don't know. A little bit of groove or something. Yeah, and then these would bump all the way up there. But I am wondering if it might be beneficial to give them like a little extra width. This might create a weird lighting thing, I've just realised, because it's sort of constricting what we've got in front of it. So now, if we go for line, yeah, look, it goes up like that. Right, it might be helpful for me to stand here for a moment. You know what? I don't think it's going to look fantastic in the slightest. And I should probably listen to myself as I say it won't look fantastic, because let's try an alternative design over on this side. Why can't I build here? Let's stand directly underneath it. What's going on? That's really confusing. It's not doing the connected pane thing, which is very... Okay, right. Let's just build this up and then knock it in from the sides. Because there could be an alternative here. So now, is this going to work this time? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave the top bit maybe. If I do this, we can kind of knock out those little, like, I don't know what you want to call them. Little grooves. Yeah, see, it looks nicer without them. I also like the way it gets a bit smaller each time. Maybe just have that, like, quite simple. I think what I'll do is go at the bottom, do this. Is that gonna... Oh, it's perfectly aligned, is it? That actually looks pretty good. Looks like it's where it should be. And then maybe do that at the top as well. I think I can live with that. That's better than where this was going. Time to get rid of all of that. And we got Idyllic Valhalla for the cheers and biddies saying, I'm sure you get it right one day, maybe. Did I get it right then? Did I get it right then? Thank you for those cheers and biddies. I think I might have, you know. But thank you so much. We also got Encode42 here with the Prime. Legendary Muppets subscribing with the Prime. And we got the one, the only Curls of Doom gifting a sub to Tauber for 21 months. Thank you so much, Curls. Tauber, be sure to say thanks in chat. And thank you for your tremendous support, peeps. I got it right! Idyllic Valhalla. Just you wait. Give it another month. If you choose to resubscribe, I will have forgotten and the name would be butchered all over again. I can practically guarantee it. I wish it wasn't so. I don't do it for fun. But it's just an inevitability, really, isn't it? Okay, so now we can just whiz through this bit. Copying those back and forth. Be nice if there's a bit of a hotkey to just manually reset it while you're holding it. Right, we got that bit sorted out. I'll tell you what else I want to do while we're here. Hopefully I've got the materials in the cheers and biddy bag, which I probably don't have. In fact, we emptied them out, so I'm probably going to need some of that and some of this glow stuff. Right, placement and placement. Silent Pursuit, thank you for 2 months. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thanks for the modded Minecraft, loving it. Have you ever played Sevtech Ages? It's my top favourite mod pack. I have not, however, I think as time passes by I will probably continue to play some modded here and there, and maybe that's one I end up playing, I don't know. We'll have to see. Thank you again for subscribing. Bear says, you gotta have a somewhat simple name for X to pronounce. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I got Bear correctly. I mean, there was such an amazing joke. If I'd have read the message first, I could have said, beer. Beer in chat says, what? Ah, the opportunity passes. It's the joke that no one wanted to hear. I skip one, nope. And yeah, that's right, placement mode. And this, by the way, requires high concentration. I notice I don't blink. Whenever I go into like high concentration placement mode, it's like no blinking is allowed. Gotta watch exactly where that cursor is. Actually, with a bit of timing, it's not too bad, is it? Look. And there's all of that. I feel like I really like to do the stairs here, actually. Like, we haven't gotten around to doing that at all yet. Don't know what that would look like, to be fair. So, which material is that? That's block of steel. Steel sheet metal is here. So how do we do it at this level? Kind of, I don't think we need to focus on that, actually. Right, I'm going to start off with like a single, if I might do draw. Where's the drawing tool? Draw region. So like, pretty sure that. Right, and this stuff is too thick coming out, but 1 pixel wide, so that's important. I can go to that. And I think that's basically that block, right? So then I need to make the same thing that goes there and then up even higher. Do I sort of need to make the same thing? Do you know what? This might be useful to grab that. Maybe imagine that bit isn't there. Go to like additive, and then when I hold down shift, sometimes you can place these things like that's not it, is it? How have I've seen it before where you hold down shift and it's sort of like, yeah, like that, right? So why can't I do that into this block? Oh, there it goes. Nah, it's looking at it like the whole block, so I want to have it like halfway up. Okay, maybe forget that. Right, okay, so we want it to go up half a block. So I'm going to use connected pane. There's what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think it would be. And then it would come across. Is that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? It needs to go one more. It needs to go up again. Which, no, I'm not going to use that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I think put a block directly above it. Oh, that's helpful. You know, or to the side of it. We'll go a bit higher. Okay, where's the draw region tool? Because now I can go from there to here. And then from there to that bit. Yeah, so that shape. And then you see how this has got like some bits coming down. I guess we've sort of got it there. We need it here again. Okay, this should be very actually simple to finish up now. As it needs to go to the equivalent of that. I think that's it. Maybe I could do away with the one in the middle. I think I'm going to do away with the one in the middle because that's kind of like not how it's been done technically. Right, and we got some serious movement on the other screen. FX Zoons! Thank you so much for gifting subs. If you hear your name being read out loud, be sure to say thanks in chat. Ginty Starry Day, Bob 20x9, Astella 42, Captain Crunch, Bluetooth Goldfish. Thank you so much for gifting those subs, my dude. Greatly appreciated. As always, hope you're enjoying the stream and thank you for supporting our community. Right, so now we're going to take these two. Excuse me, mouth burp. Oh, disgusting. Manners. Okay. Did I get it right? So yeah, then we can go place these here. Question is, does this look good when it scales up, I guess? Right, we appear to be out of the things that we need. Or placement? What's different here? I think we need to go additive. Or something. Is it me, or is it just like... Did it just start appearing differently? Like... That's quite obvious, and then additive... Didn't look... No, it's like obvious again. Really weird, that. Right, there you go. We're going to have to, like, flip this for the other side, aren't we? Oh, and again, we're going to need additive and place you, like... Again, it's done it. It's done it again. Right, now go additive. Right, now I can actually see it. Come back up here, and now I can see it again. Really weird. Okay, placement. I got to admit, it don't look very good, does it? Actually, it's not. It's kind of not terrible. It's just not very interesting. Then again, it's a handrail, right? I don't want to do a diagonal slope one. I like that it's kind of blocky like that. Yeah, that's actually not really that bad. It's just not impressive, I think is the thing. So when I come over to this side, you can see the problem is pretty obvious. There is some sort of way. Ah, there you go. Look at me, I figured it out. Right, are we in additive mode? Interesting, because now it's on the opposite side of the block. Oh, am I looking at the wrong bit? I think I might be looking at the wrong bit. So that... No, that's not add. That's trying to add it into that block. So I think I need to do this, but shift place it or something. There's a way to do this. Because it's currently on that side, right? Placement. Uh-huh. Okay, then I need to reset it for this side. Oh, do you know what? It's the wrong... Is it the wrong bit? It's the bit that goes on top, and I placed it at the bottom. Dang it. Okay, so... We need, like, to remove that. And put it... Placement. No. Still haven't got it quite right. That goes... I'm so confused. Yeah, it goes at this level. Yeah, it goes there. But it's got to be placed here. Right, so that's not letting me, for some reason... Here we go, here we go. That's right. Now... For this one and this one, it should give us just what we need. Sweet. By the way, we've got almost 800 peeps tuning in today. Thank you everyone for coming by. Be sure to hit the follow button. It's Variety Month, which means that tomorrow when I stream, which will be similar sort of time of day, maybe a little earlier start than this one, I'm going to be playing a different game to Minecraft. I know what you're thinking, X. I've never heard of such a lunacy. You not playing Minecraft? Well, I'll tell you, it's a real thing. It happens. I don't know what game I'm going to play yet either. I haven't had the chance to think, really. So, yeah, anyway, for the month of January, we're doing just some variety between the Minecraft. So every other day is different. I'm going to stream in the mornings on Wednesday and Thursday this week, most likely. Why do I have to, like, shimmy this back to get additive mode to work each time? It's really odd, that. Right, there you go. I'm definitely not going to do that on any of these other staircases, but for this one, dang, that's fantastic. Right, that's me and my chisel and bits fun for today, I think. Time to do something else. Because that was tedious, really. Oh, look. Oh, I can't do that, can I? So I'm just going to throw it in there and forget all about it. You should try City Skylines, says the Great Di. I've played City Skylines plenty of times. It's a game I'd like to play again, but it's kind of like a big time commitment. I am going to pick games that I like can play for a stream and then move on. It's going to be a bit of a showcase. Not 19 row. Thank you for 58 months of support, saying you're almost at as many days as I have months. Yes, that's true. Yeah, catching up with you. Innit? Thank you so much. Right, I am going to sit down for the next portion of this stream. Oof. Oh, that feels better. I've stood a fair bit at the desk when I've been at the computer today, so all good. You should play Kingdom Rush. Isn't that a mobile game? I don't play any mobile games. I just cannot find ones that interest me in the slightest. They really feel like a different breed of game, and they all feel like they're sort of curated just to tap into your dopamine response, you know. They all just seem geared around like giving you little kicks, but like not really providing a lot in the way of strategy or thought or anything really. I mean, maybe I'm looking at all the wrong games or something. We're going to go do some chisel and bits next, because I just made a promise that we, you know, that we were done with it for today, and one of the things I love to do is break my promises. Ha ha ha, take that. Right, let's do this. Yeah, I feel like that just makes it a bit more pronounced. That's really quite good. So, how does our neutron thing look, so that's all getting moved out of that diamond chest, and now we're getting tons of infinity blocks. Very cool. Have you played Hades? Says Luke Sandro. Yes, and we did that on stream. You can always, before you ask, you can always just search on my channel and have a look. It's a tower defense game with a lot of strategy. Well, I like tower defense. My problem with tower defense is that I just got kind of like burned out on playing so much of it some time ago. But, you know, if it's a good one, maybe I could check it out. Carls of Doom says Google first, then ask X. Seriously though, like the amount of times I get asked about a game, you know, you can just do a quick search, Xisuma, you know, Xisuma City Skylines, and bam, you got your answer. And if you want to watch it, you know, you got like a whole bunch of videos as well. So obviously we're gonna have some supports down here. I feel like I don't quite know what I want to do next. Like, I know I need to do this Aviata stuff, but it's just a bit grindy. Maybe maybe we could take a look at this area of the place, or I would really like to get the control thing underway. This, by the way, this will probably change. Oh, actually, saying that, it's hooked up. I forgot about that. Maybe get the dark armor complete. It feels a bit pointless now because it's just so unuseful. I also got to like change all of this out as well. I could definitely see myself doing a bit of that. But the real thing I need to get underway is this. Also, this area here is very plain. We need to fill it up with things. Where can we start building something next? I did like the idea of building this up a bit. See, so as you expand the area, like the threads, they expand all the little things that you can do, and it gets a little overwhelming sometimes, I find, unless you like got a clear idea of like what you're doing at this point. And I didn't really have the opportunity to take care of that today. It was just kind of like, eventually I got around to doing this, and it's like, right, time to stream. I feel like almost immediately, before I've even finished placing these blocks, I'm not going to like them because they're brighter. They might not look too bad though. I think actually it just feels to me like a different texture is warranted here. What texture could we be using? Let's get away from the sheet metal stuff for a second. Maybe we could find something else here of merit. Have you started Draconic Evolution? Not yet. I feel like we need to build out way more of the factory before we do that. Yeah, suggestions, chat. Suggestions. There is that other block of steel that we've been building with. That stuff's kind of cool. But we've been using that elsewhere, like up top. Steel casing? I don't think this is supposed to be a building block, but like, I think seeing lots of those X's might get a bit annoying. However, if we sort of paired it with some of the scaffolding that we got on the arms. Need to make some more of those. Well, more than one. More than 4. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like I could see some of this stuff going on. Maybe at different heights. Let's give that a try. Maybe a copper or a bronze, says Dutchling. Maybe, maybe. I'll tell you what, we need to get on a little bit of a project today, actually. We need to make the Fluxed electrum ingot, because we need that stuff to be made while we're AFK. So I say a little aesthetic project here. Also, I sort of assumed that this stuff could be auto-crafted. I don't know what it's made out of. It can be auto-crafted, and it is made out of, yeah, very friendly resources. We'll have a couple hundred of those. So yeah, how about we do this bit here, we do something different, take a break from this area. When we come back, maybe we can work on the control panel. I feel like that's quite important. And I'd also, sooner than later, like to get this texture reworked as well. That's something we really need to do. This is, so far, so good. Might be a nice idea to integrate a couple more things with it. I don't know what exactly. Yeah, just have it like a bit randomized, I was thinking. Not try to look too intentional. Does it have like a connecting block effect? No, it doesn't. It doesn't like wrap like a stair would. Game suggestion: Evil Genius 2. It goes stale after 10 hours, but it's more than enough for a stream or two. Yeah, any suggestions? As always, hit me up on Twitter. That's where I see all that stuff, and just when I'm not streaming or like making videos, occasionally I pop on Twitter and like just check what's on there each day, and people send me all sorts of stuff, and I just check it out then. Blast furnaces, beehives, and barrels aren't meant as building blocks, but look at Hermitcraft. Gorager, yeah, like suggest stuff like that. Blast furnaces, beehives, and barrels are not in this version of Minecraft though. But yeah, stuff like that is what we need to fill these floors up with, right? To get the aesthetic all down together. This definitely, I know it needs a complementing texture of some sort. Let's grab some of that steel. Let's grab a chisel as well. Oh yeah, and more steel casing. Because the steel has some... Oh, dang it, it's the wrong sort of chisel. That's the one that we want. Should probably just get rid of those other ones out of the storage. I don't have a very accessible trash can here, but that's very plain but potentially buildable. Ah, look, that one might go in occasionally. I don't know why, but like, I just feel a little bit of it here and there helps. And then over here, let's have some bits of scaffold again. Yeah, it just kind of looks like they're there. They've just been sort of thrown up to like temporarily support it. You know, just like with no real thought, no layout, which kind of suggests a bit more of an improvised thing going on here. As for lighting it up, it's got a light source in here. It's got two. It's not quite enough to illuminate the edges. Where else might we hide a little more light? I don't think it needs to be all that hidden. Let's go put them here and here. Yeah, that helps a tiny bit. And the stuff on the floor as well. We could do with tidying that up a bit. A dark green block would look good. Yeah, for this thing it would look real good. Yeah, so that's all needed under there. Oh wait, I haven't finished putting all of these in. Right, a few more of those on this side. I love how industrial this base is, says M-Dog. Yeah, I like that aspect of it too. It's cool, it's fun. Right. Now for the scaffolds. In various places. Something like that. Over here. Oh yeah, and all of this down here is supposed to be this stuff, isn't it? Right, let's start getting that in place. Did X make changes to his setup? The stream looks sharper and more colourful than usual. Also, sound quality seems to be way better today. I don't know if it's just on my end. Could just be the bitrate. We had a couple of days where the bitrate was off. As for making changes, I've just been checking settings and trying to figure out what's causing this audio issue. Right, like, is the game sound garbled today, peeps? Please tell me. I did ask earlier, but I probably was just then distracted. As yeah, I'm trying to like diagnose it, and it's kind of hard to figure out where to even start. It's quite an unusual problem. Right, so peeps are saying it's fine today. That's so weird. Like, it'd been bad for quite a few in a row. I got a couple of suspicions. One is that maybe there's quite a bit going on, like with all the processing of different sources and stuff, and so sometimes it just struggles. That could be it. But I don't really know if that's likely or not. I can't remember what the other suspicion I had was, actually. I think that was my main one. But the fact that it's like not consistent is really odd. I almost don't know what to make of it. Should really be using that wand, right? Here we go. Much quicker like that. Oh, fell in a hole. And now we need more of it. And we got it right there. Did you get all of it? I think it did. Except there. Right, and a bit more of this stuff. That don't work. Yeah, it looks like we're missing a bit over the back here, I think, and that's about it. That definitely, like, adds a lot to it, doesn't it? Oh my god, I just remembered the other ideas that I had. I just had some amazing other ideas. I haven't noticed any sound crackling at other streamers, though, says Lucro. It's probably an issue on my system. It's probably not a Twitch one. I mean, it literally is, because some bits of it crackle and some don't, right? So obviously something's going on my system. The old trick really is just to remember that I can yoink everything in and then yoink it back out. For this next bit, I don't really know quite what I need out of all of that, but what we're going to do is go back to immersive engineering and grab some stuff like this. Aluminum wire, that might pop out, it's a little bit different. Definitely grab some of those. I think the colours will really match. As for other blocks here, I would like to find something fantastical. Now, the texture on the bottom side of that might be useful to us. Ah, and what's the betting here? Oh no, just those. Ooh. It made it with... Yeah, there's quite a few things here that are really cool. I think it made it with that. Or that one. That one's a bit more toned down. Might not be the best idea to ask for 100, but I've asked for them. And we also have 5 of those. Cool. So, what I was thinking is like... Gonna need some cobble. Hey, we got a noise in the ear. It's Uncle B Joe here for 3 months and continuing to love the content. Much love. Appreciate it, my dude. Glad you're enjoying it. That's wonderful to hear. I've, you know, absolutely loved making this series. Always good to hear that peeps are enjoying it. So, I feel like, yeah, maybe we try and get away from having evenly spaced out stuff all the time. So if I space this out like so, we get rid of that, and we attach all of these. Yeah, I think I need to rethink that a little bit. Down here, actually, that's where I was planning on having these ones, right? Like, look at that. So then we go up to here. Ah, not that wire, they said. What about this one? Also not that wire. I think you have to use the high voltage, which is possibly not steel. Don't know which one it is. Huh. What one haven't we tried? Copper. And we got gifted subs here from Anonymous. Anonymous, thank you for the wonderful poetry. Oh, X, you're such a comedian with that joke. I've heard it 100 times, but every time it's better. Andy BN01, Tama1618, Zeratul42, Blacksteel53, and Shelly Steve. Be sure to say thanks in the chat for the gifting of the subs. You know, I don't know who you're thanking because they're anonymous. We don't even know who they are. Yeah. Who is this mysterious person? What happened with this? I feel like we've got some stuff hung up here. Let's try again. We've got 8. That one also. Use the coils, not just the wire, says Sir Henry. Ah, right, coil. Wow, I've forgotten that one easily, haven't I? So I guess I wanted something that like really popped out, was my thinking. You cannot attach this wire here. At least it's telling me I can't, as opposed to not. So we might have to go with that. Oh, we can definitely do something cool with that. There is no doubt about it, my friends. Do not doubt. Don't scream. Don't scream and shout. Gah. I could hear that from all the way over here. Right, I reckon we'll do something like we'll create a shape. Sort of semicircular or something. That kind of looks like a okay distance. So I reckon, not that one first, maybe that then this. See, I kind of like the top of that texture, but it's not really there. The height's not working there. Still not working. That sort of height coming down off of something I think could work. So then the next one I reckon is going to be here. Let's get those relays on and look these up at the same time. Get a feel for it. Okay. Yeah, and then I reckon the last bit is going to be like here. Yeah. Right, let's go grab a relay. We'll borrow one from over here. Get rid of all of that, and then attach this. I'm actually not sold on that, so what I'll do over on this side is try and do it a little different. Need to go one higher, really. That might kind of handle it, actually. Do we have any more of these relays? Because we need a few more. Thank you very much. Cool. Yeah, gonna need to disconnect this. I don't know if you can. I guess I'll just break it. Yeah. I could also share and have a couple go to the same one, right? Ooh, now it's looking. That is looking very curious. Dang. Okay, oh, this is looking real nice. I know where to go with this. It's like here, I think. Oh, it doesn't quite line up. But then again, I don't need to rearrange the whole thing. Let's go put this here. Did I request some y'all to tell me something in chat like a minute ago and then just get distracted again? Just had that feeling all of a sudden. I mean, that's looking kind of like fantastical. If we can get the lighting right up there. Sure you did, says Curls. Oh, Doom. Oh, dang it. I knew I did. Decisive TV says, is that the Xisuma? The Xisuma? What Xisuma is the Xisuma? Please enlighten me. Yeah, let's make these two tall, because we're going to build some sort of big archaic thing up here. And then try and mirror this. One thing I've noticed is that it sort of pings back and forth like that, and then this one probably shouldn't actually be here. And then maybe this should be a little closer, so like... maybe just bring it forward by 1. Cannot attach a wire to the same... Oh, then... odd. Yeah, that looks really cool. Is Aravitia a magic mod or something? It's a grind mod. I was going to focus on it today, but looking into it was a bit like, because I haven't had time to think, really. I think that one needs a bit more planning or whatever. A bit more preparation. So it's like 2 diagonal blocks, boopity boop, and the next one is here, I think. Yeah, that's right, and then it's gonna be here. That one will be there. Right, let's get this thing all hooked up, and then we start building the roof bit. Dang, that is so very, very cool. The lighting's just right, actually. It would be cool if it had like an animation where you could see sort of power going through it. A little bit concerned about how close it is to this, because now what I want to do is grab some like stuff. I don't know what it's going to be. Actually, I think I want to avoid using the same textures too much over and over, right? But I want some big structure that's coming down from the ceiling to encapsulate everything. What textures do we have here that we may have not looked at in a while that might suit? That one... I think it might be worth looking at the factory. The factory stuff, right? Also, we've done all of that. Keep it nice and clean, right? That's a pretty cool... I feel like I should have used that at some point. Maybe mix it with... we've used that one. I could actually... I think that I've got a feeling that would look really good in here. Let's go to the inside. I feel like on the inside you would see this. Get it all the way over here. And then get a wand, and probably actually we need more of them, don't we? We need more of them. Hey mate, first of all, best wishes for this year, and second, thanks for your awesome content. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate you saying that. Appreciate you saying it. Let's chisel all of that. It also fits the middle ground between survival and creative. What are we talking about there? Modded Minecraft for me is the same as satisfaction as Cookie Clicker, where I go from monstrously producing things to producing them so fast the original scale of production is infinitesimal. Yeah, modded tends to, you know, send you down a rabbit hole of infinite upgrades, right? I don't mind that. I just like to pair it with the ability to sort of do this, right? Create our own world in which we do that. Okay, I think this is going to look great. Just got a feeling. So, need to night vision it for a second. Yep, need to pull out some more steel. Grab this. Grab that. Make all of these blocks. I don't know how we haven't seen that texture before. It's a really cool one. I want that to come down and wrap round so you see more of that on the inside. Yep. And then going up and above to that level there. Maybe a little bit on the repetitive side, right? Dang! Check it out! Woo! Love it. It does need like a little bit of light, but we have the problem with the light sources every single time is that they're too strong. Let's try and hide some creatively here. Maybe just that's all. Oh, that's kind of maybe it. That's all it needs. Maybe a little bit in the middle too. Not really sure I can make much of a difference there. Unless I leave one like floating, but it's kind of hard to hide them. That's sort of obvious, but definitely added something putting that there. Still feel like it could do with one or two more details here and there. Try making a feral flare lantern. They place invisible lights around them. That's definitely not what I want because it lights up too much, right? It lights up crazy. We want something subtle. Subtle lighting is what we're looking for, and this pack doesn't really give you a lot of that. Yeah, it connects all of it. So I feel like it needs something different at the front here in two different places. Let's go... I'm going to go grab iron. Block of iron, just because I know we've got loads of it, and like, let's try and use some of that. Does this have an equivalent? That's almost good enough. That's too much. That could potentially work. And just having a quick scan over these other ones, I don't think any of them have got what I want. That's a little bit like the copper texture. I should also consider that this is going to be in like darkness potentially. So shimmy those down there. I think I know what to do. Now that across the front. Although a little bit of depth there might go a long way. And then up the back here, this stuff. How high does that need to go? I think that's it. Yeah, because it's dark up there, I feel like we can get away with that. And then we want to rip out some of this where it's not technically being used. And what one was that? That was steel. More steel. We're using lots of this stuff, aren't we? And we got thousands of it. Sweet. A checkerboard pattern of a lighter and darker colour, says Dutchling. That could probably look good. You know, there's always a lot of things that we could do, and one of the things I like to focus on is a bit of speed. You know, like actually getting something built. So if I'm kind of satisfied with this, I'm not gonna and ah too much about all the other variables I could try. Let's bring all this over here. That's a very nice texture though. We've certainly introduced a few extra textures into the area today. It's good to do. It gives us more options as we think about all the building we're doing here. So that's pretty fantastic. I do feel like it needs some animation, some things that could kind of like pop out a bit. Also, I like this block, but I'm not really sure it has a place. Maybe I could leave 2 of them in this darkness back here. I don't know if that really does anything of value. I think I'm just going to leave the 2. Or maybe these could be like thrown down around the edges here. I tell you what, they kind of look like the sort of blocks you could just. In fact, there's a. Here we go. Here we go. This is all from immersive engineering, right? Like, what's that? Do I even need to know? Just make one. Just make it. Stop asking questions. Charging station. I'll have one. It looks like that other thing's a bit of work. These blocks all have, like, detail and shape to them, right? Like, how have I not investigated these a bit more before? So, all it has to do is sit there and it looks cool. Right? That just fits into this area. So, dang, where do I want to put that? Yeah, I need some like other scaffolding type platforms where all of a sudden you got this thing here and it's like, don't need to explain it, it's just there. Right, charging station. Again, that's probably like more on a side, a workbench. Yeah, that actually looks extremely cool. Can I place it like here? What? That sounded weird. I wonder if that emits a redstone signal, because that would be cool to use instead of levers, right? Right, I want a HV transformer for my birthday, thanks. What else do I want? Oh yeah, so these blocks could sit around. These blocks maybe as well. I'm only getting started here, aren't I? That thing we asked for, but it's still working on it. Not sure what's probably that thing. I don't know. I'll cancel it. And I don't know that we finished adding everything from this this particular pack yet as well. I'll take a transformer, thank you. What else we got? What is that thing? A curtain? Okay, forget about that. When we're making curtains, we're going too far. I wonder if those vertical conveyor belts could just like be on a wall for some reason. I don't know. Makes the place a bit more animated and alive, right? I'll have to think about that. I feel like that might have a place somewhere. So these transformers, they are definitely the sort of blocks that look like they could just sit about here and there. And then these things could be like a little pile. So we need to think about where these things need to start like going, right? Like where do you need to look and see a few things lying around? That's not so impressive, that one. And that looks like a little detail that you could just hang off the wall somewhere. Just like that. Huh. What's it called again? Redstone wire. Interesting. Yeah, I might get a bit carried away doing this. Okay, and then the generator block. Does that have like a... Yeah, I had a feeling it would have a connected texture. I don't know why. Just going to leave that there. It kind of looks like a bit of a crate, right? Then if I put crate-like blocks next to it... What on earth is this? There is definitely stuff here, like a gunpowder barrel. I'll take one of those. Yeah, what was I just thinking of? Like, balloon. Dang. Maybe spaced out? I don't know, like, could put these things anywhere. And they just look like they belong, right? It needs more thought. I feel like they need some complementing blocks. Crate, that's what I got distracted on. Anyway, I think we're going to take a break from the building in a second. Yeah, so like I've got that. Maybe there are like metallic crates. I don't know, but I feel like immediately putting a couple of those next to there. It's progressing. We've got ideas left, right, and center, and this thing I think turned out pretty great actually. Turned out pretty great. It's going to need a wall behind it. This thing here, I want to like go around to the back. I'm going to work on that another time. What do you think, peeps? Let's take a break from this place. It's fun. Need to go do something else for a minute, I think. Do the gunpowder barrels explode? I hope not. That'd be terrible. We had a noise in the ear, by the way. Mikey Gammy saying, "Hey X, how's the HC off season treating you? I imagine it's nice and relaxing." Yeah, my days are just going by at a different pace. But it's really weird because it feels like all I do is, like, I don't know, sort of go through my routine of eating and exercising with like moments to do other little jobs in between. And then in the evening I just stream. I haven't really had time to like think about what I want to do on a deeper level for season 9 or anything yet. And I've got like a list of jobs I'm still knocking out the way, so I'm sure I'll get to it. But yeah, it feels weird how like you give yourself time off, but then it just immediately gets consumed with other things that needed to have been done. So anyway, in order to make this stuff, we have to set up an induction smelter, probably specifically for this. Feed it 2 things. One of those is crafted. I've got a weird feeling... Ooh, that's a little... Wait a minute, what are we talking about here? So we got Fluxed electrum blend with the bucket, or... So this is the better way for me to do that, I think. Yeah. So we're going to send this machine some redstone and electrum blend, or grit, made out of silver and crushed gold. So we need to send silver and gold to crushers. Right, don't we have like 1 machine left over here? Or like maybe 2? Let's have a look. We've got 2 left, so... It looks like we need 2 crushers. Let's go back through it again. An induction smelter, 2 crushers. Yeah. Alright, I think I know where we're going. Part of me wonders if I could run it all off of one of those things, but... we'll be good. Right, looks like I never set up the recipe. Is it because it's actually called a pulverizer? By the way, can I just say, because it's been annoying me, right? Who in chat flosses their teeth? OBHK flosses. So yeah, a few of you do. Who doesn't, says General WCJ. Do a poll. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do a poll. That's a good idea. So... New poll, do you floss? I'm not talking about that dance move. Oh, you Fortnite young'uns. Jeez. I'm not a boomer. Right, let's go every day. At least once a week. Now and then. Very rarely. And never. So you got 5 sort of degrees of frequency. I'm curious. Steve-O says his biggest regret in life is not flossing. But I could picture him saying that in a completely joking manner. I don't know if that like means much or not, you know? Like, having not flossed a lot myself, I don't really know what I need to do to floss. Like, sorry, I don't know what like the benefit is, right? Or like if I'm gonna have that much of a difference, even. Hang on, where are we at here? So we got the pulver. No, wait. Yeah, pulverizer for that. Maybe not. It's because I clicked on the mechanism one, right. So yeah, pulverizer for that. Interesting. Having a little addition might make it more efficient, but I think I'm not too interested in that at this point in time. So we need the silver and the gold. Craft them into that. And then send that over here. No, send it to... I keep missing it. I keep, like, there's like one other thing and I keep... Where is it? I'm totally missing it. Well, eventually I need the induction smelter. It's this thing here, so I make those two, but rather than that, it's the bucket. I was looking for a machine and it's there, it's a bucket. Fluid transposer. Oh, that means I would need a magma thing as well. So we actually need like 5 blocks here. So 2 of those. I'll tell you what, we've done all the other building stuff for now, haven't we? All of that can do the off. Now I can't remember what the other thing was. Induction smelter? Yeah, I'll take one of those. Induction smelter. So that's the fluid transposing bit. So we make that with crafting in the first 2 machines. Then the fluid transposer makes that. And induction smelter makes that. What have I missed? I think it's the magma thing. Because you need to turn the redstone into something as well. Alright, then let's go get our conversion kits. X, you should definitely have electrum that you can pulverize. You already should have the electrum. Oh, right. Interesting. Oh, do you know why? Isn't it over here already? Gold and silver. It kind of rings a bell. Okay, so we'll just need the 1 pulverizer there, I guess. And we wouldn't need the crafting bit. Right, let's view the results about the flossing. So 56%, or sorry, 42% of you never floss. 21 very rarely. So we had a vocal minority speaking up. It's literally in the same order that I read it out, like reversed though. Very rarely 21%, now and then 19, at least once a week 13, and every day 6. Interesting. So I saw the dentist a while back after not going for like 10 years or something, and they want me to floss. And, I got an electric toothbrush. Anyway, I flossed before today's stream, and unlike before, I'm left with this like really like mildly uncomfortable feeling around my teeth at the moment, like almost like they're cold or they're feeling pressure or a little bit sore. Probably the gums, actually. The gums are a little bit sore and the teeth are a little sensitive feeling. And as the stream has gone on, it's just like slowly got on a bit more intense, I guess. Whoops, and then that one. Oh. So yeah, the first thing we're going to do is send the electrum here. Let's disable these, all of these to begin with. It's actually a tool for this, now that I think about it. Which might make setting all this up a little quicker, that thing. If I remind myself, it is to yeah, use while sneaking through arrays. It might not actually copy over. Yeah, no, I wanted to copy all of these bits, but it's not how it works. There we go. Right, we got a... No, we didn't get a noise in the air. I could have swore I just heard a noise in the air. Anyway. Shelly Steve says, and if it helps, also, I did the 10-year Doctor What Doctor period of my life. Everyone does when they're young, probably. Anyway, my teeth are fine. They just recommend flossing. This is like a bit of plaque build up, but I don't need fillings or I haven't got anything. Had them x-rayed as well, which I listened to a podcast where they were saying like avoid x-rays as much as you can, and I was like, it's probably right. God, I can't stop licking my teeth and my tongue now. I think it's like gradually just getting more and more irritable. It's really weird. I need some mouthwash or something. Anyway, I've always like brushed my teeth a lot. Like I just brush after every meal, so and before I go to bed, so it's kind of like they're always pretty well cleaned. Right, so this one is going to... In fact, it should... Yeah, it's already hooked up, so it'll do that. Let's have this thing... Should we do this automatically? No, I shouldn't do it automatically. We should let the thing below put it up here. I need some conduits. It's been a while since we've done this stuff, now that I think about it. I got rid of that trodden brick as well. Might actually help me to go do what I'm thinking, hey, I need to do this in a minute, because it might let me like order everything. So we're trying to make this. Yeah, so we want that processing pan. That's the thing that we just made, so we can tell it we want electrum blend. When it's got electrum blend, what does it do then? Does it... This is where we want this one. So that's the next recipe. What's interesting about that is, do we have one for redstone? Like the other component of that? It's not listed here though, so it's going to say send the electrum blend and get that. So I guess that part is automatic, and then the last part would be this with the sand. Yeah. So that will help me visualize it pretty well, I believe. Yeah, so these three things are going to go here. It's just what order I want to put them in. I'm not sure if it matters that much. The magma crucible, it needs to go... By the way, I'm going to get rid of that. It needs to go next to the fluid transposer. So let's go ahead and put the induction smelter here. Fluid transposer there. Magma crucible here. Let's get some conduits. Right, I didn't expect them to connect to the bottom as it goes. I'll leave them there for now in case we need them. So we want some redstone coming through here. So now that's being stored, and we'll extract and we'll insert, right? So at the bottom here, we want to configure the bottom of the block for that. That's weird. Ah, dang it. Swap that round. Well, that we're off to a great start. There's a way to void this, so we'll call it a learning opportunity. We voided this once, I can't quite remember how. Who could tell me how to void it? So that's the stuff that we want to extract. Hey X, I'm trying to start an edutainment channel. What sort of tips would you give as someone who enjoys watching edutainment? I would say, like, do your best due diligence on research and trying to get things right, being authentic, communicating transparently, trying to remove bias to some extent. Transparency would probably be the biggest thing, you know. Like, it's great that everyone can have access to edutainment and start their own edutainment channel, but there needs to be like high standards in that area. Use a bucket or fluid conduit, says Disco Mercenary. Oh, I seem to remember there being a thing, but whatever. I thought there was a way that you could just click a button and get void it. It's probably from a different mod or something. Okay, there we go. Gone forever. Right. So now we're gonna have all this redstone here that can push auto output is enabled. Let's see. So we want that one to be blue as the input. So now it's going to hold the destabilized redstone. So that's an automatic process. Now, the next thing is it's going to send. So that it creates from that. Once it's got the electrum blend, this is the bit we're looking at, except it's that. So it sends the electrum over to this thing. Now here's the issue. I could remove the filter once this thing is full, and we kind of assume it's always going to stay full, right? Especially once it's backed up. Oh, I know what the better thing to do here is to just move that over to the insert. Jeez, brain, you know this one by now. So I guess I can make electrum blend at this point. So we shall ask for 100 of it. Send me 100. Or not. Please. Wait, is it even hooked up? Oh yeah, it's going to be slow. And we don't have auto output enabled. Oh, it went away, didn't it? There you go, that's the one. Hope it didn't go... Hope it didn't jump into somewhere else. Yeah, so we also want to store this stuff here. And then that is going to be the input here, right? So we add the filter. Filter, mate, for that. Set it to insert. And then this thing down here has to be blue, I believe. Actually, it needs to be blue-orange. Because we also need the fluxed electrum to come back. So we have an extract that inserts over here. Now, I've got a weird feeling I might just use a different colour for that, actually. Yeah, so that stuff then comes back out. Right, cool. The only problem is it's actually doing that automatically, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because I think what we actually need is one of these blocks to push it to where it wants to go. Otherwise it just continuously takes it. So I'm guessing it's waiting for enough to stabilize it. It needs a heck of a lot of that. Yeah, so maybe I'll bring back that conduit then. Not conduit, what's it called? This thing right here. So we won't do it with one. We'll move that over to the new spot. As we will the redstone. So then this thing just needs to extract and the redstone will keep rolling in. Then this thing here needs the recipe and a whole bunch of that. Yeah, this thing's super slow, so I know we need augments. We need augments for all of them. Tau Bar, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Thanks for coming by. Have a good sleep. You might want to upgrade the redstone liquidator. Well, we just did. Just in time. I don't know if there's one that will make it faster for redstone or something. But there you go. So that's doing that. Let's double check this a little bit here. See what I can do. Whoops. What I can do is put a crafting upgrade here, so it will always hold that amount, which is, I think it's currently not doing. So then it will tell this machine over here to make that stuff, which it literally just did. That's good. So the other thing we've got going on here is this. When we make that bit. So that's where we need to store that and sand. And then shimmy both of those up here and back down again. Is it me or is it... Didn't I manage to do it so that you could request... No, I don't think I did. I think it literally needs another ME interface. Which just doesn't seem right. So anyway, with this being a bit more on the automatic side, as you can see, it's always filling up. When we request that, it'll make it up above, but not automatically. That's all been set up correctly. The auto eject brings it back down there. Yep, that's all good. Redstone comes in from the side. So now it's just about the final step. Another JT, thank you for 55 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Greatly appreciated. I hope you enjoy the stream today. So, not sure if we got away with doing this or not before. Definitely put sand in there. It's just automatically taking both of them out causes a problem. And we need a way to move from there to there. Is there a block that I used before or something? The simpler way to set it up, maybe to have a pattern that goes from an electrum ingot to a fused electrum ingot and use conduits to move it between the machines. Ah, that's a great idea. Great idea. Dang, I'm going to have to reset all this up now. I know exactly what you're talking about doing. That's a great idea. Right, so that would mean storing a lot of stuff here, like sand. Actually, maybe it wouldn't store as much as I think. Anyway, I understood what you're suggesting. Let me go explain to everyone else. We're going to take this back over here. Don't I need to produce one of those first? Or maybe the very first one was just asking for that. No, I think I need to do it with that. I think I need... Oh, not quite. Literally need to make it up. So it's going to give me that, and then I'm going to give it that back. Yeah, that seems to be it. Oh yeah, how do I reset those? Yeah, I must remember that. I think there's quite a few times I've thought about using the ME interfaces to do something, and then been like, oh no. But like, I need to think in terms of making it like custom. So it gives us... Why does that now permanently... Oh, that's just what it does, isn't it? So it's going to send the electrum ingot up here, first of all. This is where it might be a little tricky, actually, because... Yeah, I'm going to rebuild this. And rather than use the underside, I think I'm going to use the backside. So let's go ahead and cancel all of that. We've also got some noises in the ear here. We got... Rfit0806 here for 4 months saying time moves really fast. I could have just sworn I had my 3 months. It's just the way it goes, my dude. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you're enjoying everything that we're doing. So right, this thing is going to push up electrums into there just fine. We need to change that so it's just the input, and that the back of the machine is the output. Right, because once we've done that step, we then need to go all the way over to this machine, the fluid transposer. So here is where we need a filter for... Let's find out what that one is. Wrong one. So it should be this filter. Yeah, so we need that. Yeah, let's keep it all on the green one for now. So that's going to bring it over to here. The other place that we need... Okay, I'm going to use a different network for this. Red is for redstone. And we've got another noise in the ear. Please bear with me. My mind is in the middle of figuring this all out right now, so I'm going to stick with it. So that's our redstone now being able to be sent over here. Automatically pushed into this one. We need to take out Fluxed Electrum Blend. Oh, you know what? This thing isn't configured for the back of it. Be blue, that's right. Fluxed Electrum Blend needs to move over to the induction smelter, which also needs the sand. So its insert channel needs to be red. I think I'm just going to use another filter again. So we need sand and that fiery stuff right there. Let's go back to this block. So it's behind it that we have the output. So that has an insert, yep, and then you get a thing that goes over here. Right, so then the extract at the bottom will also be able to take out the sand and send it to this thing. We should see them there. Insert, did I enable? Right, and the sand is sitting here. This is extracting on the red channel. I think maybe the block is what needs configuring, so it's the back that probably needs to... I think I need to unlock that as well, so let's get it on blue. Right, now it might put sand into both, which would be really unfortunate. It doesn't, curiously. That doesn't have anything in to send. Well, assuming that some comes out of there, that goes in there. Then we have our final product. So we shall now extract... Have we used the green network patch at all here? Do we actually need that? Because we've got auto output. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Oh. Maybe we do. Oh, now I made a big boo-boo. So this one gets that, pulverizes it, and the pulverized stuff is sent to this one here. Yeah, look, it's got the green insert channel. Okay. So we'll keep using that, and then here we'll go for black. Extract the black, and then insert the black one there. So it's a bit confusing, but we've basically got it. Does mean it needs to work like that, and that should be okay. In theory, it's set up. I probably missed something. So I should be able to request the fluxed ingots now. Let's start with 10. Right, and those get sent there. Then they should move over to that one, which they're not doing. So let's check it out. Extract green. Right, we do have that, but it shouldn't... I think I know what's wrong here. There you go. Right, so it's making some of that. Yep, it's working, it's working. Right, I want to do one more thing here. Which is get a second magma crucible. Which means I need a bunch of kits. Okay, put that there. Right, and then we've got all these to configure. So I think like orange on top, blue on the back, right? Auto eject, so we just got to get the redstone in. Now, because we set this up with a filter on the channel, it means I need another filter. It's that one there. So like insert redstone. I think I could have like arranged all of the filters much better here, but I'm not going to worry about it. Feels like I've done things inefficiently. So now this thing, yeah, okay, and then there is another consideration, which is power. So now some power whizzes over the back here, and that'll auto-eject upwards. It doesn't have those augments on it. That should just aid with the speed of this stuff. I've actually got them in my inventory. There you go. Blackjack says, now set up the fluid transposer to accept fluid from right and below. Oh, right. Yeah, good tip. What one would that be? Blue? Yes, I missed that step. Right, okay. So now, going to go in here and type in flux and then request a heck of a lot more this time. Let's go for 100. Right, that thing's full up. This thing isn't, but it's getting a lot of juice in. It's tearing through it. Auto output enabled, orange to there. So is it me or is that thing supposed to be blue too? I think I might have made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake at the back. I just never configured it properly to begin with. So now it's doing all of that best it can. Right, wonderful. So now here's the next trick. We now got to get that stuff to automatically produce, as we need a lot of it. And let's go, yeah, just pretty much rip out everything there. Yeah, because there you go. That's the end of our little machine run. Scarn 1982, thank you for the prime. Average Martin is here for 36 months. Thank you, Average Martin. We also got Curls of Doom gifting a sub to Luco. Thank you for gifting the sub, Curls. And Luco, be sure to say thanks in the chat. That was a few minutes ago. Right, we are all good. The place that we're going to do this, I think, might just be up here, right? Because that has a crafting upgrade attached to it. So if I go and break this out. It's a storage bus, and the exporter is actually on the drawer controller. So when we set this up and put in, it's ironically primed for what we're about to do. So it'll automatically craft those when it puts them into the storage drawer. The thing we've got to do is give it a compacting drawer and lock it with a key and give it a downgrade. You know, I always seem to be in need of a downgrade and always have to craft it. Right. Place it over here. Nice. Give it the lock. Give it the downgrade. Although, it kind of occurred to me that I basically need to just endlessly produce this at this point. So now we should see that it's going to pull... It might take it a minute to update. It's going to pull this stuff out of the system and whatnot. And yeah, do all of that and put it in there. Right, now I see 11 Fluxed electrum blocks. 5 ingots. Let's put that in there. Maybe because it's already doing a job. It's not doing a job. Okay. 12. No, I added one, didn't I? Low Fat, thank you for the subscription. Greatly appreciated. We got Black Steel 53 gifting subs to AB the Savage, Iprisky, Songa 87, Xzact 11, and Noah Sterling. Be sure to say thanks in the chat, peeps, if you just got gifted a sub from Black Steel. That was very generous, and we always appreciate that, of course. If I'm not mistaken, that should be telling this to make those things, but it's not. We did rearrange, but we did not disconnect. This is all still functional. Or is it? Let's double check that, actually. So, device online, device online. I am not sure why that's not working. Low Fats has been trying to sub this whole stream and the payment kept getting declined. That is most unfortunate. I have a credit card that's like dodgy, and every other card I've got works fine, but this one card, every time, well, not every time, but like so often does it not work, and I've had to like ring up and get it replaced a couple of times. I think I'm just gonna ditch the bank that it's with because the whole thing is just like pretty poor. Right, yeah, look, nothing's happening over here. I'm gonna guess, well, I don't know what to guess really. So I should be able to request that automatically, and then it should send the electrum ingot, which is already stored here, so it gets pushed into this block. And I don't know why that's not happening right now. I can probably request, wait, let's see if there was another CPU. No, there isn't. So I can request 100, which is what that exporter should be doing right now. And then it goes to work. Okay, but seriously, X, I need to know your thoughts on Don't Look Up. I think that you'll have something really interesting to say. Yeah. Don't do it. Just, you know, up. Forget about up, it's all about down. I don't know what Don't Look Up even means. Why would you have multiple credit cards, says Jailer. Well, so that you can use more than one if one doesn't work, right? Plus they all have different perks, like some are some give you better currency rates when you're abroad, like, you know, different fees and whatnot. And the main thing is, like, you can put credit limits on them, so if like someone pinches a card, it gets lost, they can only, you know, use so much out of it, and then you can spread your budget across several of them. I also have like different ones for different things I use, so like subscription services are on one, and then going out and about is on another one, so it's just like easier to kind of like manage it, I guess. And then if you go out, don't take all your cards with you, right? Going abroad, is this some sort of European joke that I'm too American to understand, says General WCJ. Well, America's a very big country. There's like plenty to keep you busy there, isn't there? But yeah, here in Europe, we go abroad. Cloud Zero says, X, advice on overthinking or how to stop it. You know, to do the hard things are hard, okay? Like, the thing that I always try and say is like, try and do something deliberately hard and see that you can get through it. Because then there are other things that are hard, like, you know, the thing about overthinking is that you just have to catch yourself doing it and talk yourself out of it. And that can be tricky when you're perhaps not used to doing things that are tough like that. Like you know, like drop and do as many press-ups as you can, right? And it'll suck, and that last one will be terrible. But like, then it's over. You did it, right? Next time you do it, you'll be able to get a few more in. But like, as long as you don't do it straight away. But like, the point would be is like, you endured a bit of something that was difficult. And you know, for some people that works with like physical, and you can link physical to mental. I think it's good to start with physical, because overthinking can often be related to social things. Overthinking your social relationships. So like, taking something physical can be more individual, and you can rely on yourself to do it. But you can go through that physical exertion, and you know, you've put yourself through a tough thing, and then you realise once you're on the other side, it's so bad. And so then it gives you a little bit, at least, you know, for me, it gives you a little bit of endurance for other tough things that you go through when perhaps they're social, or they're tough in a different way, right? You've built up a little bit of resilience there. Corey Allen, 13, thank you for the cheers and biddies, saying, hey X, I was wondering if you were able to use the paint machine or the glowstone or any block to make emitting light for better options. I don't think so, because the glowstone is the same light level. The best way to do it is like this, to make your own custom light emitting blocks. And what I've been looking for is textures and different shaped blocks, but the problem always is that they emit the higher light level. But thank you for the cheers and biddies. I appreciate it, of course. Hopefully that answered your question. Although I think you were just trying to suggest, right? Tanny Glace, thank you for 29 months. Modded love. Thank you, Tanny. Yeah, it's been a fun one. Is it me, or is that now... Did that go up a bunch, or is it because it finished a job? I don't know why this thing isn't. Or is it maxed out already? Because I put it down. I'll tell you what, we need tons, so I'm going to take that out. Let's rule that out. Where's Blackjack? Blackjack says, it looks like it isn't auto-crafting the silky jewel lever. Is the exporter set up correctly? Oh, that's a good point. It isn't doing that correctly. Why did I think it was? I think that should do it. There it goes. I was just about to mention something though. Like, no, that's it. What did I change? We changed it from stored items. I don't know quite why, but it's definitely doing that now, isn't it? So we go up here, we should see that. Yeah, okay, wonderful. Thank you. You've always got the answers. Appreciate you. Your modded knowledge is impeccable. I'm impressed. Cloud Zero, did that help at all? Like, another reason I mentioned something physical is because doing physical activity releases a lot of good feelings, endorphins. Unfortunately, it's not great at doing that when you're like early on in a fitness journey, when you know you're just starting out working out or running or whatever it is. It tends to suck a lot more, but if you get into it, you do at some point start to feel it come back, feel good after exercising. I remember just a few days ago, right? Christmas is over. I come home and it's like, oh man, I got those predictable like good times are over blues, feeling a bit and like really quite strong. Honestly, I got a bit teary at one point listening to that Edelweiss. How did it go again? Don't tell me I've forgotten that song already. It's these trap beats in my ear that are messing with me. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. That song's just, I absolutely love it. I was getting all emotional listening to it. After Christmas, had a lovely Christmas. Started getting those blues, right? You've had your ups, now here come your downs. And I didn't, you know, it was a bit tough, but like, I know I'll get through it. But what really got me through it was the next day. As soon as I worked out, that was it. I was just like back to normality again. Back to normality. So like, it's worked for me for such a long time. It's why I always bang on about exercise. It's just helped me get it all done for so long. Don't Look Up. It's a movie on Netflix. Oh, low fat. That's my Wednesday zonk out movie. I've got a pizza and a Halo top for Wednesday, right? I'm just gonna zonk out and watch that movie. X, I started the yoga challenge too when you mentioned it and never felt so motivated to do fitness. That is awesome. That is awesome. I hope that motivation, you know, gets you going. Key thing I always say though is like, you can't rely on motivation. You got to build discipline. You got to do it on those days where you don't really feel like it. And I have those days a lot with exercise and working out. And I just routinely go through it. It's just like, yeah, I know I feel like, oh, I could just sit on my ass and play games, but it's like, nope, do the thing anyway, and you'll thank yourself for it after. I'm looking forward to starting the yoga thing. I'm always like a day behind because of the time zones, so starting the 30-day journey tomorrow for me. Okay, be sure to tune in for your thoughts on Thursday, says Low Fat. Yes, we're going to be talking about Thursday soon. I did say I would talk about Thursday. God, I'm so angry about Thursday. God. Oh. I will give you my thoughts on Thursday, my friend. I tell you, oh, I'm going to have a word about Thursday. Oh. If I get to talk about it on Thursday, that might be a variety game day, right? Anyway, we're at the end of the stream. I want to thank everyone for coming by and hanging out with me again. I feel like next time we're in the Stoneblock world, it'll be more productive, which will be a Wednesday. Thursday, I'm streaming in the morning, so Thursday will be a variety stream, yes. So I might not be talking about it then. I need to find someone for you. Oh, perfect. We're listening to Music Man. He's streaming. Let's go raid Music Man. Yeah, that's it. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thanks to all my patrons and all the peeps gifting subs. Y'all are appreciated. Go hit that raid button, hit the follow button if you didn't do that, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care, peeps. Bye-bye.